Well, it's a mixed bag of news this week. We have things that are sad, things that are exciting, and things that are nostalgic. You'll get what I mean in a moment, but excuse me for a moment while I go play a few games during the intro sequence. Oh hey, it's you! Welcome to Free to Play, your weekly gaming news show brought to you straight from the 90s. I'm your host Charlie K, and in this week's episode we look at the Fallout TV series, retro games gets the 3D treatment, and just what is the problem with the next generation of consoles. Find out all the latest news and so much more in this week's episode of Free to Play, but before we begin, if you are new here and love gaming content as much as we love the Super Nintendo, why not consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you don't miss a single video. For our first bit of news for this week, Horizon Zero Dawn is finally making its debut on PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store on August 7th. Horizon Zero Dawn is the first ever game to be released by a PlayStation first party developer and to be ported to the PC. But keep in mind, just because Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC, it doesn't mean every PlayStation title will now be available on PC. Microsoft have renewed the IPs to the Perfect Dark and Fable series, listed with the description of intention to use. The news comes about as two new Twitter accounts were made for both series and are only followed by a single Xbox employee. The Fable series has been rumoured for quite some time and is allegedly being developed by Playground Games, the developers behind the Forza Racing series. However, Perfect Dark hasn't had an entry in its franchise since the remaster for the first Perfect Dark game on the Xbox 360 back in 2010. You believe it's been 10 years since we've had a Perfect Dark entry? Ubisoft have released brand new footage of a battle royale game they've been working on called Hyperscape. In this new game, players will be able to break down walls, find chests, and upgrade their weapons to suit their playstyle. To win a match, you either take out your competition or wear the King's Crown for 45 seconds in the last phase of the game. To make it more interesting, the game will apply modifiers such as infinite ammo and low gravity after viewers on Twitch decide which modifiers to apply. Hyperscape is currently in technical testing in most countries, unfortunately not available on the land down under, and can be accessed by watching people who stream the game on Twitch. The full game will release hopefully sometime later this year. A new emulator called 3D Zen has appeared on Steam in early access. This new emulator allows you to play NES games in 3D. You can play games such as Mario Bros. 3, Mega Man, and The Legend of Zelda all in 3D. Of course, the game ROMs are not included, but they can easily be found online. Please note that downloading game ROMs breaks copyright laws and can only be used for personal use, authorized by the people who don't give a damn. The EVO Digital event for 2020 has been cancelled. EVO 2020 has been cancelled due to allegations of sexual abuse against the event organizer, Joey Cellular. Because of this, Mr. Cellular, look at us trying to sound professional, is no longer associated with the event, and Tony Cannon has had to step up as acting CEO for the event. Due to the coronavirus event, EVO had to switch to an online event in the precaution not to spread the virus. It wasn't long after this that most publishers such as Bandai Namco, Capcom, and NetherRealm Studios pulled out of the event. Any badges purchased will be refunded, and any donations made will still be donated to Project Hope. World of Warcraft and Hearthstone streamer Reckful has passed away at the age of 31. Reckful started streaming in 2009 for competitive World of Warcraft PvP and later switched to Hearthstone. Reckful took his own life and had long battles with both depression and bipolar disorder. Before his passing, Reckful hadn't livestreamed for over a month, but remained active on social media. Rest in peace, Reckful. The Last of Us Part 2 actress Laura Bailey has received some serious threats against her for her portrayal of the character Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. Laura has received consecutive amounts of death threats and violent threats being directed messaged to her via Twitter and Instagram. The Last of Us Part 2 has also received a lot of bad reviews, also known as review bombing, due to particular parts of the game not sitting well with some of the fans of the first game. You'll understand better when you complete the game. Laura Bailey did take to Twitter to thank those who have been giving her positive messages as well. We would love it if you could spread the positivity and tweet at Laura Bailey to give us some positivity in this dark time. So just what is the problem with the next generation of consoles? Well, it looks like the next generation of gaming is going to get a whole lot more expensive. The news first broke when NBA 2K21 developer Visual Concepts announced that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game will be $10 more than their PS4 and Xbox One versions. So, does this mean that other games may follow suit? Well, as games get more and more harder to develop on more complex hardware, the development costs for games are probably not as affordable compared to previous hardware. And with the rising cost of development of software for the current hardware, it only makes sense that the games are going to get more expensive over time. With the price of games going up, this leaves gamers with two options. One, cough up the extra $10 to play games at the moment of release, or two, wait until the game they really want to play goes on sale or appears as a free game on PlayStation Plus or the Xbox Game Pass. So which option would you choose? Let us know in the comments down below. Another episode is done and dusted for this week. We just wanted to make sure you are okay. If any of the events of this episode affected you in any way, please don't hesitate to seek professional help or advice from your loved ones. If you like this episode, hit the like button and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'm Charlie K, Gamers Unite! And we will see you on the next level.